Company, Apple, Apple Inc. Working title, $31 billion Services, Apple's Real Profit Engine. Primary SEO keyword, how does Apple make money? Apple sells you a phone for $1,000. But the part Wall Street cares about isn't the phone. It's the invisible business that turns Apple's installed base into a monthly subscription machine. And in Apple's March 2026 quarter, that services line alone did $30.9 billion in revenue. So today, we're breaking down Apple's real business model, how the iPhone became the funnel, how services became the profit engine, and why Apple can turn a $3 component into a $1,000 sale. When most people ask, how does Apple make money, they imagine hardware margins. And yes, Apple is still a hardware giant. In Apple's 2025 fiscal year, the iPhone alone generated $209.6 billion of net sales, more than many entire Fortune 500 companies. But here's the twist. Apple's highest quality dollars increasingly come from services, the App Store, iCloud, Apple Music, Apple Care, licensing, and advertising. In that same 2025 fiscal year, services generated $109.2 billion. That means Apple's not a hardware business model is already the size of a mega-cap enterprise. Apple runs a two-engine model. The iPhone isn't just a product, it's a membership card to Apple's ecosystem. Apple uses premium design, tight software integration, and a constant upgrade drumbeat to keep users inside a high switching cost world. Once you're in, the monetization doesn't end at checkout. Every time you pay for extra iCloud storage, subscribe to Apple Music, buy an app subscription, or make a purchase that triggers an App Store fee, Apple gets a slice without shipping you another device. This is why analysts increasingly describe Apple as hardware plus recurring revenue. Apple's moat isn't just brand, it's coordination. Apple controls the full stack, the silicon, the operating system, the app marketplace, and the default services that sit on top. That creates three advantages. 1. Low churn. Switching means leaving your photos, messages, purchases, and habits behind. 2. Bundling power. Apple can package services together, discount them, and make them feel like free, while still growing the paid base.
3. Profit mix shift. As services grows faster than hardware, the business becomes less dependent on product cycles. So Apple's goal is simple. Not just sell you the phone, keep you paying, quietly, for years, which... Let's anchor this with real figures. In Apple's March 2026 quarter, services revenue was $30.9 billion, up from $26.6 billion in the March 2025 quarter. That same March 2026 quarter, iPhone revenue was $57.0 billion versus $46.8 billion a year earlier, meaning Apple is simultaneously selling more hardware and extracting more recurring revenue from the base. In Apple's 2025 fiscal year, iPhone net sales $209.6 billion. Services net sales $109.2 billion. Total net sales $416.2 billion. So the cleanest way to describe Apple is a hardware company whose most valuable growth is software-like. When you hear Apple turns a $3 component into a $1,000 sale, what's really happening is this. Apple isn't monetizing the component. Apple is monetizing the relationship. The hardware is the beautifully designed entry point. Services is the long tail. And as long as Apple keeps its ecosystem cohesive and desirable, that long tail can outgrow the phone. If you want more business model breakdowns like this, subscribe to Capital Breakdown. Next week, we'll break down another company that looks simple on the surface, but makes money in a way most people miss. Microsoft Corporation Form 10-K for fiscal year ended June 30th, 2025, revenue by segment table. Microsoft Corporation Form 10-K for fiscal year ended June 30th, 2025, offerings and products in discussion section of MD&A. Microsoft Corporation Form 10-K for fiscal year ended June 30th, 2025, Revenue by segment table. Microsoft Corporation earnings release dated October 24, 2026. Revenue by category table for 3 months ended September 30, 2026. Microsoft Corporation earnings release dated October 24, 2026. Revenue by category table for 3 months ended September 30, 2026. Microsoft Corporation earnings release dated October 24, 2026. Revenue by category table for 3 months ended September 30, 2026. Microsoft Corporation earnings release dated October 24, 2026. Net income by category table for 3 months ended September 30, 2026. Microsoft Corporation earnings release dated October 24, 2026. Net income by category table for 3 months ended September 30, 2026. Microsoft Corporation earnings release dated October 24, 2026. Net income by category table for 3 months ended September 30, 2026. Microsoft Corporation earnings release dated October 24, 2026. Net income by category table for 3 months ended September 30, 2026. Microsoft Corporation earnings release dated October 24, 2026. Operating income by category table for 3 months ended September 30, 2026. Microsoft Corporation earnings release dated October 24, 2026. Operating income by category table for 3 months ended September 30, 2026.